everyone, it's me Gavin Vengeance and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be just hanging out and chilling and talking about all kinds of new stuff coming to Nikkei in the very near future tomorrow, right? Because we're probably going to have a video up tomorrow. I was planning on streaming it, but I think I'm probably just going to record a video like I normally do for a lot of like the seasonal events and everything that we do get. So that's the plan for our upcoming patch. Terminus, right? That's what we're looking forward to. Hello, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. If you guys are not part of the live stream right now and you're watching after the fact, then I would highly encourage you to please give the video a thumbs up and then also subscribe to the channel so that way you guys can get notified whenever I do go live. I would appreciate it very much. And yeah, so we're going to be doing some Nikkei stuff and talking about other games and the same old thing that we've been doing in the last couple of streams over here, right? And if you've been noticing now, it's a little bit more dim and grim and dark in the background. It's because I was too lazy to turn on the lights, so I'm getting even more increasingly lazy as the days go on. So anyway, that aside, let's dive into it. Dude, we've got a lot to unpack here, right? That's what I'm talking about. So as you guys can see, we're back in game here playing Nikkei, patiently awaiting the update, which I believe we're getting system notice right here, right, telling us that there's going to be maintenance December 4th. It is for the implementation of our brand new patch. SSR Nayuta and Liberalio will be available during the or in the ordinary recruit now, sorry, as of the update as well, right? So that's something to take a look at. And then we also have SSR Nikkei Solene Frost Ticket will be available as well. That is super cool. And then of course we have the introduction of two brand new Nikkeis coming out tomorrow. SSR Diesel, Winter Sweets, Rocket Launcher, Attacker, Burst 3, 40-second cooldown as a standard with Burst 3 units. And I believe she's going to be a pretty strong damage dealer from what we got for the skill readout for her. And then we also have SSR Brid Silent Track, who is going to be a supporter unit shotgun. And I believe she also like helps win code. Or win code enemies, she applies like debuffs and stuff like that, so she's gonna work really well in fire comps, right? That's what it is. I think it is. Who's my first SSR? My first SSR ever was Polly, believe it or not. Polly was my first SSR, and then I was lucky enough to get Scarlet not long after, like OG Scarlet. So that's how the cookies crumbled. I didn't get a litter for the longest time for whatever reason, but that was like the one SSR that I was really like needing at the beginning. But that's who it was. And then of course we have limited reruns for Ice Rose, Maiden, or Maiden Ice Rose. And then of course we have Winter Slayer, right? The Geek Team Winter Slayer, which is a really cool looking unit in my opinion. Not really sure if they're going to be doing a rerun. It doesn't look like. Or like the older units, the older winter units, right? So just those two from what we can tell. And then of course we have new limited costumes coming out for Blanc, Fortune Express, which looked really good. Costume Gotcha, something that I should point out. We have a limited costume for Breddy, Frosty Bite, which also looked really good. We will be taking a look at these in the very, very short future. Okay, so stay tuned. And then of course we have a limited rerun for Emma, Color Me Red, Vesty, Archmage, and Volume Beat the Gun. So anyways, that's essentially what we're getting tomorrow, and that's what I'm looking forward to. But today we're just chilling out here doing dailies and all that stuff. But I guess I should probably focus more on the actual like patch stuff that's coming tomorrow, right? So probably just swap over here as I get things ready, and then we'll go through that, and then we'll get back to the daily part, right? Because maybe that's what you guys are here for, just the overview of what the things look like. So without further ado, let's dive into that. And let me adjust my camera here for a second too, because we're gonna bring up the page, right? Let's see. Got, whoa, why'd my mouse stop working? That's not cool. Don't do that to me right now in the middle of stream, please. This mouse, for whatever reason, has just like stopped working all of a sudden on multiple occasions. It's lasted me a long time now, mind you, but I definitely need a new one. Maybe I should have took advantage of all like the Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals, right? Just maybe. Okay, so got that up. We're good to go. Let's take a look. There it is. This is blah blah link, the official community page. If you guys have not checked it out yet, I would highly encourage you to do so, because there's all kinds of like different community giveaways and so on and so forth here with this. Always something cool to look at, right? So we're gonna take a look at the official tab, and then we'll go for a little rundown of what's to come in the event, like I was mentioning, right? Special re-pick up for Maiden Ice Rose, and we've got Winter Slayer or Guillotine. Two great iterations of characters. I would recommend Maiden Ice Rose over Guillotine Winter Slayer, though, if I had to pick between the two, just to put that out there, in case you guys are wondering. One's a little bit more useful than the other. Then we have the costume introduction right here for Brady, Frosty Bite. I'm going to mute the game for a second, because I feel like that's probably throwing off, or it's gonna throw off the videos that I'm gonna play, right? So let's do that real quick over here. Let's move that aside. That way we can do this. All right. So costume introduction, Brady, Frosty Bite.
I get sleepy if I have too much sugar. Want to eat some ice cream and take a nap with me?
Looks really cutesy, right? The eyes, I think, is the first thing that I noticed. I know it's probably a little bit harder to see where I'm kind of like zoomed in or whatever, but or zoomed out, but that's what it looks like.
If I have too much sugar. Want to eat some ice cream and take a nap with me?
I think it's pretty cute. I think a lot of people are going to appreciate it, right? It is Brady after all, and everybody loves Brady. And then, of course, we have new feature scenario storyline, because I've had people in my chat recently telling me that they would love to see a feature that shows a timeline of where all the story events line up, right? So that way it's a little more easy to follow, and it seems like the dev team's been listening. So the implementation right here, Outposts, Command Center, storylines. That way you guys can see exactly where each and every single one of these events take place canonically. And that's cool. That's very, very neat of them to actually implement that, because it's not something that I was expecting, but really cool. And then, of course, we have Fortunate Journeys with Nikke's, which I believe this is some sort of limited time community event right now, right? So you may want to take advantage of that. Then we have a skill introduction for Brid, Silent Track. Not going to really like go into it too much in depth, but from what we can tell, she pretty much debuffs wind code enemies, which is really useful for the ones that can be debuffed. Looking at you, Indivilia, just going to put that out there. And then, of course, we have the motion demonstration for Brid Silent Track.
What a meaningful day. The AZX will finally be able to take passengers to the surface.
We like that. Again, great motion for Brid, is all I'm saying. Exactly what I was expecting, to say the least. I want to see the burst animation, though. That's what I'm waiting for. Music, background music's really good, too.
I'll get you to your destination.
Good God. That's a cup of hot coffee. Whoa. Yeah, that's a burst animation. Brid Silent Track, dude. Pretty cool and interesting unit. However, I believe that Diesel Winter Sweets may be a little bit more appealing if that's what you guys are looking for. And I'm not going to, again, go over the skills, but just know that she is a very strong DPS character from what we can tell. However, she does have a unique caveat where it seems like she may stun or like disable the rest of the party if she's not the one that activates her full burst, from what I understand at least. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I have not tested it yet, but I'm just going based upon the skill descriptions. It seems almost like she needs to be the one to activate full bursts in order to not apply highlight to the rest of the party. And again, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but that's what I understand from what I read. And then we get to take a look at the actual outfit again here, right?
This strawberry
or not outfit, the iteration.
By the cooking oil squad. Let me know if you need some.
Again, very cutesy. Really like the design. Not really sure why she has a microphone, but cool. Again, great burst animations, more than likely, right? And then we've got a great motion demonstration is what I meant to say, but again, again, this is live and I'm bumbling over my words like usual. We're waiting for the burst. What a voice! Dude, I love that. That is incredibly comedic. Sing a song! Yes. It's too perfect. Absolutely perfect. I love it. And then, of course, we have the Terminus ticket, full version PV, which I did not take a look at yet. So let's have a look at this.
Ask all visitors and members of the press to step back a little.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that should be everyone. It looks like we're all here. So let's head inside the train, shall we?
I wonder if Nora's going to make an appearance. I have a feeling she will, but I don't know.
I'm Diesel.
That burst
leader of the
animation is
Infinity
peak.
Rail Squad and a crew member of the
It's so
AZX.
good.
My fellow crew members and I will take
Again,
good
the motion
care of you.
demonstration. I think she's a really
The
well-designed
safety of our
character.
passengers is my top priority.
They're definitely keeping
I
things a
am
little more tame, though,
engineer
with
of the
these
AZX.
seasonal iterations, right?
I will see to your safety.
We're definitely not out there, which kind of makes me wonder about
Such
the New Year's
serenity in
unit,
this
maybe?
world, a
Just
place
maybe?
untouched by the winter curse.
But then I also recall we have that Blanc outfit, which, as you guys can tell, is a little more along that lewd revealing side, right? But again, gotcha costume,
We going on an adventure.
more than likely going to be $60 USD if you guys want to acquire it. Story event update Terminus ticket. Looks like we got a new explorable map, a mini game. Wasn't sure if that was like Minesweeper or something that I was looking at, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like it's something to do with math. There's the storyline guide. Winter's Carol. Okay, so that's what it's called.
Ever since you got drunk, you've been singing that same song over and over.
That's Nora, right? That's got to be Nora. It has to be. But there it is. So that's pretty much the update that we're getting. It is called Winter's Carol, and that will be tomorrow. We will be taking a look at that. I'll record my story mode playthrough for story 1. It didn't look like there was there a story 2 in that? I gotta go back and take a look just really quickly just to make sure. Where was it 2? It's here somewheres. But I'll definitely get a little bit of a sneak peek here. Looks like there is a story 2. From what we can tell, there's a story 1, and this one's locked, so that's story 2. So this will be divided into 2 parts again. We will explore story 2 the week following story 1, right? And then following that will be the hard mode bonus scene, which I normally record. So I'm going to try to stick to that layout or that style of recording just to keep it here and keep it on the channel, keep it consistent. So again, probably not going to stream that tomorrow, but the recording will be up. Anyways, that is that. I also just wanted to mention that we're going to do our dailies, okay? Dailies, it is. That is what time it is. It is daily time. So let's go back into that. My apologies. I'm getting a little bit sidetracked, and we're going to turn the music back on and all that good stuff. Thank you very much. It is a very fantastic story, and I don't speak a whole lot of French, but I do know a little bit just because of going to school in Canada and having to learn a little bit of Francais, right? So I do know a little bit, but I appreciate it very much. Thank you for giving me a chance. I really do appreciate that. Okay, so we are back. I'm going to fix my camera so that way I'm where I need to be. There we go. We're good to go. So again, daily time. That's what I'm talking about, right? I very much love the story of Nikke. I think that they are doing a fantastic job with it. I want to see where things are going to go with the main story, but obviously we're not going to get that for a little bit. However, I will say that I did very much enjoy Blank Ticket, and the cliffhanger ending kind of made me wonder a few things, so hopefully we get a little bit of a resolution to that with Winter's Carol tomorrow. We'll see. No worries. I appreciate all my followers, so thank you. And no, your English sounds really good from what I can tell from the chat. It's good. It's appreciated. Thank you. I mean, merci, right? Merci. See, no, a little bit. Je m'appelle Gavin. But yeah, I took a little bit of French in school, and I do understand a little bit of it, so that's pretty much the only other language that I do know a few words in, or a few sentences. Perfecto. Thank you. Vraiment, right? Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. I get it. There it is. C'est bon. C'est bon. It's all good. But we are here again just to ramble and talk about stuff. This is not really like a Nikkei dedicated stream per se. One thing I did want to bring up though is that I was watching a lot of other people covering like Arknights Enfield, because I talk about that a little bit. I unfortunately did not get into it. Again, I'm going to mention that for the third time, and I've been checking every single day, hoping and praying to get into the game, but I've heard a rumor, and again, take it with a grain of salt. It's a rumor that apparently the game is slated for like official release January 31st. That'd be really cool to see it that soon. And if we do see it that soon, then I'll more than likely be streaming it over here and playing it on like PS5 Pro and trying to really like see what the game has to offer, right? I know there's been a lot of like stickiness when it comes to like the gacha system and everything, but the game looks really good. The story looks really good. The characters sound really good and look really good. I am very much intrigued by Arknights Enfield, so I do want to check that out as well. But then also we've got like the Game Awards coming up next week too, right? So that's something I also want to take a look at, and something I wanted to note, because there's going to be all kinds of different new game announcements and potentially like new information when it comes to gachas and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to potential announcements when it comes to that as well. Very, very much excited for the Game Awards, which is a weird thing to say because normally I just get disappointed by a lot of the things that we do end up getting reveals for. And as I mentioned in the last stream, I was kind of like, where's the good stuff? How much longer we gotta wait? Or how much longer we have to wait for, you know, stuff that's not like indies per se. But another thing that I did want to bring up, speaking of indies, and this is why I'm kind of gone on this like side tangent. I was taking a look at sales yesterday in the PlayStation Store, right? We were going through the PSN in my own time, and I'm like, I wonder what's on sale, because they're doing like this end of year promotion or whatever. And when I'm like looking through the list of games, I'm like, okay, there's some good titles, right? Just scroll a little bit further down through the list. I'm like, stuff that's interesting. There's a lot of stuff that I've already bought in terms of like RPGs and stuff, right? And then I'm like, all right, good deals. 60% off for a lot of them is really good. Some other like fantastic like bundles and stuff, right? And I'm just like, cool, this is good. But then I start noticing like these titles trickle in, and I'm like, what the freaking heck did that say? And I go and I look at it, and it's just some picture of some random dude for the thumbnail of the game, and the name of the game is I'm in love with your dead grandmother, and I'm like, what the freaking heck is that? So it looks like slop, and I'm like, whatever, I don't pay it any attention, right? Other than the fact that it was like a little bit like jarring. And I was like, what the freaking heck? Like, how's a game with a title like that get on the store? I have no idea what the game is, but I never clicked into it. I never wanted to take a look at it. That didn't even interest me. It was just kind of like, the hell? Like, didn't like Sony have standards or quality assurance when it came to like, you know, weeding out all the slop? Weird. Scroll a little bit further down, and then all of a sudden there's all these like games being recommended. It's all like sci-fi hentai girls and what was it, like car mechanic simulator. There was like 10,000 simulator games for all kinds of different things, and then there was like hentai shop simulator and the hentai waifu simulator. I'm like, what the freaking heck is going on here, man? There were so many different like titles that I was like, how the hell did this get through the filter? Is there no filter anymore when it comes to the titles that are available on the PSN? Because I have no idea what's going on with what they were putting there, but like, and again, I didn't go to look at the titles of the games, but like, it was weird, man. It felt like I was in some sort of like, I don't know, different dimension where like everything was just allowed, and it was like anybody was allowed to put out just trash and push it on the PSN for people to buy. It was weird, man. But I was like, what the hell is Sony doing, right? Like, they need to... That's something that needs to be addressed. It was weird. And again, I don't know if maybe it's just me, but when I took a look at it, I was like...
It seems I'm about to win.
The majority, like, I would think 70% of the sales that were listed on that, like, store sale were all like slop and just like garbage and trash and like ports of other games from PC, which was weird. Like there was a whole bunch of like PC visual novel games that were ported straight over to the PSN, and like I know a lot of them are just bloatware and trash, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm baffled. I found it very weird, but that was something I wanted to bring up because like I know it's not like a big problem for anybody. Like, you know, anybody can just say, well, you know, if you care that much, then why the hell do you pay attention to it? Sure, but when 70% of the store sales are like slop, it's a little weird. It's kind of unbecoming, right? It makes you wonder a little bit. And I know that a similar thing's been kind of going on with like the Nintendo eShop as well, right? So it's kind of, it's weird, man. How there's no filter anymore. Like I remember when, I'm gonna sound old, right? But well, I remember when I was a kid, video games had this little stamp of approval on it, right, from Nintendo, saying like, yeah, Nintendo verified this is not garbage. And it came with that stamp on every single cartridge that was actually like approved for the NES. But we don't get that anymore. It's weird, dude. It's so weird how like all this crap is just allowed to be pushed into general public. And it's just, you know, there's no like age restriction or anything from what I can tell on the PSN. Well, I mean, there probably is in terms of service or whatever, but like in terms of like what you're viewing, right? There's no like filter, from what I can tell, to like, you know, on Steam you can select mature titles or like adult titles or recommendations or whatever, and you can like filter those in or out if you want. There's no option for that from what I can tell on the PSN. Maybe there is somewhere hidden in the settings, but like it was just weird to have that there, like recommended. So many different like weird titles. Like there was some stupid thing too. I remember it was like Potato Sack Simulator or some crap, and it was some dude in like a potato sack
After seeing a game made
hopping around or something. Dude, it was freaking weird. And I mean, if you're into it, sure, I guess. But for me, somebody that just kind of grew up like playing, you know, regular games that weren't, I don't know, out there or not that out there. It was weird, man. I'm kind of like, maybe I stick to my game purchases in store, or you know, only buying things like physical copies or whatever through Amazon. Maybe I don't know. But like, if I'm gonna be buying games now, it's almost like a deterrent. Like I almost feel like I shouldn't go on the PSN anymore. It's weird. And I don't want to feel that way. I don't want all the crap and the bloat just thrown in my face. Because it's just, you know, like what would have happened if I would have been upstairs in my living room with my kids? And then, you know, they recognize, they're starting to learn, you know, full sentences and words like Natalie can read perfectly. What the hell would she think if she's seen a title like that, right?
I'm not alone. We're all
and this, dude, it's just, ah, man, it's so weird. It's like, you know, you would feel like, can you imagine if you had company over and then you're just scrolling through the PSN or whatever, looking for a title or looking for a sale or whatever, and then like somebody walks in and here's a bunch of like hentai like recommendations, like, I'm just browsing the store for a sale. You know, I'm not a pervert. It's very weird. It is very weird. Very weird. So again,
I would have been swift.
I don't know, man. I feel like something needs to be done there when it comes to the PSN. Just my own 2 cents, throwing that out there. I'm sure nobody will see it or care to see it. But I mean, I think it's a pretty valid concern to have, especially as somebody who is a parent and somebody that does have company over from time to time. It's just, while I am gaming, right, in my living room, that's typically where I game, it's weird, man. Very off-putting. And again, I know it's not just the PSN. I know it's also on the eShop. I have no idea about the Xbox game store or whatever it's called, because I don't use Xbox, but it's probably on there as well. But all I'm saying is, there needs to be a time and a place for people to be able to go in and do a job actively filtering out the garbage, or at least enabling options on the stores for us to be able to filter out the junk. You know what I mean? It's weird. And I almost feel like a lot of the indie titles and everything maybe should have their own like section or something in terms of like the sales. Like maybe if the sales were separated by like, you know, PlayStation 5 games and then PlayStation 5 indies or something. Kind of like how the PS3 used to do it, right? Like the PS3 had this thing called PS3 Minis or something. I think that's what it was called, if I recall correctly. And that was like kind of like, hey, here's some bite-sized games for you to play that don't cost too much, but they're also like little indie titles that are kind of like, you know, not produced by AAA companies and so on and so forth. But you knew what you were getting into by going into that category, right? Like you didn't go looking for Grand Blue Fantasy Relink on sale 60% off and you're looking for it in the list, or you're looking for Minecraft for your kids, and then it's like hentai, 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 right? It's weird. Maybe there needs to be another category is all I'm saying, right? So just maybe if you want that, you go look for that. You don't need to have that on your PSN recommended for everybody to see is all I'm saying, right? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's weird. End rant. Okay? But anyway, that was one thing I did want to point out because it was very, very weird. Yeah, that's essentially where my mind was, man. I was wanting to play a little bit of Stellar Blade, and then I was like, maybe there's something good on sale. Maybe there's some DLC for one of the games that I'm playing. You know, there could be something. And I continually look to see if there's something for like Minecraft or whatever for the kids, right? So I'm doing my job as a parent. I'm glad that I'm doing it down here in the basement on the second PS5 rather than doing it up in the living room where they could potentially be exposed to all the junk. Dude, weird. Just weird. But anyway, that being said, when it comes to the Game Awards, I don't really have a whole lot of predictions. I just have things that I want to see, because I know I want to keep it on the whole like game train that I'm talking about here, right? There's stuff I want to see. I'm excited. I've got no idea about what's going to be there. I've got no predictions about what's going to be there, but I'm excited and I'm optimistic, and I feel like this is going to be a good year to really like tease us for what's to come in the future. Because 2025 has been a pretty good year for games, right? It really has been. There's been some great games that release, a lot of great ones that I didn't really think to ever pick up. But then I was like, you know what? They've been getting a lot of good reviews, a lot of good like feedback and everything. Screw it, I'll pick them up. So I picked up Metaphor ReFantasio. And upon the first like hour of playing it, I immediately had to pry myself away from it because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get lost into this game as soon as I actually like give it a good solid effort. I'm gonna take my hands off the steering wheel for a second because I know that game for me is gonna be like all gas, no brake, and I don't want to have to have a game that. And again, I turned it on very late when I was kind of like, maybe I shouldn't do this because I have to go to bed soon because I have to work in the morning. But when I turned it on, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be sucked in for hours if I don't pry myself away from this right now. But that was a really great game that released. I feel like, did that release this year? That didn't release this year. That released last year. But anyways, I picked it up this year. And then also, I heard a lot about Claire Expedition 33, or Claire Obscure, sorry, Expedition 33. And I was like, well, if it's getting all these good reviews, then maybe I'll check it out. And then I did. And I understand why it's nominated for like literally 90% of the categories this year for the Game Awards, right? I get it. I do. I get it. I played the game. As soon as I got to the opening scene, I'm like, all right, this is dark. This is grim. I kind of know what's going to happen. I'm not going to get emotionally like attached to any of the characters because like, I understand how this world works. I get the premise. Opening scene happens. I'm in shambles. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm gonna have to play a little bit more of it, right? So again, and again, we're going back. We're keeping on the theme of French, right? Because it's produced by a French studio, and it is very, very well done. Now, again, I was a little bit kind of like iffy on the design of it. I'm like, it looks really good. But like, maybe is it just me, or you know, could it look better possibly? Then I saw the game on PC and I'm like, yeah, okay, it could look better. It could look a lot better. It looks incredible. But anyway, I digress. I got into the story. I get past the first opening scene. I go, you know, on my expedition, and I'm like, holy crap! This game is dark. This is grim. This is very mature, as it should be, because the main characters are very much mature, older characters, and it's relatable. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is really interesting. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there were multiple times in that game where I'm like, man, this is really good. Would I consider it the best RPG of all time like a lot of other people have? No. I would not. Do I think it's a really good top tier RPG? 100%. I think it is definitely, it is deserving of all of the praise it gets. I'll say that. Do I think it's the best RPG ever for me personally? No, but I've played hundreds of RPGs. So again, my opinion is a little bit harder to sway when it comes to that, right? It does a lot of interesting stuff. It keeps the combat interesting and refreshing. There's a lot of things that I do appreciate about it. The music, now, I can't even hear any of the songs. I just immediately get reminded of the game and I'm there crying, right? So,
come and chat with me.
Yeah, some people will say that I'm weak or maybe I'm overly emotional or whatever else, sure. But it, like, dude, I'm telling you, that story was really well done, and I could not predict it. I thought I could predict it. I could not predict it. It played out completely different than I had thought it would. I had no idea how small of a bubble it actually was compared to what I was thinking it could be. But it was a very, like, how do I put it? Engaging experience, right? And it was visceral when it needed to be. It was rewarding when it needed to be. The design in the characters' like eyes and how it brought to life those characters was very admirable. Dude, Expedition 33, highly recommended for anybody checking that out. And again, if it wins 90% of the categories that it is nominated for, I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised in the slightest. I 100% understand. Again, among all the games that I played this year, it's probably the best. It is probably the best. gotcha games aside, because again, Nikke is literally my favorite games. Gotcha games aside, standalone titles is probably the best. And it was produced by a small team, which is crazy. They have done a fantastic job, and honestly, I can't wait to see what else they have in store, or what else is going to come into that studio in the future. But they have got some big shoes to fill now, right? They got a lot of tension. They need to try to one up that, which is scary, very scary, very scary. That is a daunting task, to say the least. But I think that they can pull it off, so I'll be interested to see what comes out of Sandfall Studios, right? I want to see what else they're going to produce. But again, the best of best gacha with Arknights? Really? I have not played Arknights, and a lot of people said that I should, and maybe if I did, then I would actually be like, you know, invited to the beta test for Arknights Enfield. But I didn't play the original Arknights, so unfortunately, I can't say much in that regard. But I love Nikke, and I think Nikke is fantastic, and it's probably the best gacha game that I've ever played personally. Just because, again, the music, the characters, the combat, the fact that it does not hold your hand when it needs not to, if that makes sense. It makes you take the reins if you want to progress. So there kind of is a little bit of like skill and knowledge involved in the gameplay, at least in the later stages, right? That's what I do love about this game. And of course, character designs are peak. And I love Stellar Blade, which is also produced by Shift Up. I think they put out incredible titles, and I don't care if that sounds biased. From what I have played thus far, they are awesome. I played a little bit of Destiny Child as well, and I think Destiny Child was good for what it was. It wasn't my cup of tea, per se, but it was still really well done. Great character designs. Again, the UI was really sleek and everything too, right? But I didn't really play too much of it. But from what I saw, again, Shift Up is very capable, and they've shown it on multiple occasions with multiple different titles. And again, it also makes me look forward to what else is to come out of Shift Up. And we do have a tease of what's to come out, right? It's Project Spirit, or Project Spirits, which I'm going to bring up because that's what I want to take a look at right now, now that I'm talking about it, because, I don't know, I got a weird feeling, man. I got a feeling that we possibly could see this at the Game Awards, right? The announcement trailer for it. And it is a game produced by Shift Up. So I've got up Shift Up's page right now. I think we're pretty much almost done dailies here anyways, right? With Nikke for the most part. So again, let's swap over scenes here, and then we'll take a look at some more stuff from Shift Up, what's coming out of them. So let's do that, and let's go back here, and let's do this. So again, got it here, Stellar Blade. I know I'm bringing up all my menus so you guys can see everything, and that's fine. we don't mind that. That's all good, man. I need to adjust the size of this though. So the size of this needs to, we need to alter this a little bit. I'm gonna pull it out that much, and then we're gonna minimize this a little bit. So bear with me while I get things set up. I know this is very half what you know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, yep, there we go. This is this is the screen. This is what you guys are getting, okay? So this is Stellar Blade right here. I know I got Eve's head cut off, but it was really good game, right? Like probably one of my also favorite games of 2024, and a game that I frequently revisit because it's fantastic. It's got some of the most engaging combat, and it's got great challenging sequences. There's some really cool character moments. There's a lot of great DLC involved in it. Dude, there's a ton of different outfits to acquire, and collectibles, and accessories for Eve, different like treasures and everything to unlock. There's a ton of stuff to do in this game. A bunch of side quests, just a plethora of different things to take in, and again, great music, great voice acting for a lot of the cases. Not all characters not all characters, but it is really good. Again, fantastic world though, right? Then we've got Nikke. Do I even need to speak? Do I even need to speak? For me, it is the best gacha game of all time. Again, you guys are here more than likely for Nikke. That's probably how you found this channel. If not, it's probably like Genshin or something. But Nikke is quite literally my bread and butter. It is my go-to game. It is the game that I play each and every single day. Again, fantastic, right? And then, of course, Destiny Child. This game has since ended service from what I understand. But if you can tell, look at the characters, man. The character designs are cool. There's a really different art style. Again, I don't really know much about it because I have not played a ton of it. But it looks good, right? It looks really good. And I'm sure it was a great project, and a lot of people that loved it seem to love it. So that's it. Moving on, we've got Project Spirits, which is on the horizon. There was a lot of like mention of this game actually having an official announcement, some way, shape, or form by the end of the year, from what I understand, from what has been rumored. I would not be surprised if we get to see our first glimpse of it at the Game Awards. I would really wish and hope that we do, because as we can tell, Project Spirits is ShiftUp's new flagship project. Flagship, that's right, it is the main game they are going to be focusing on, essentially, right? A subculture cross-platform title that embraces the concept of Eastern fantasy. As a new IP following Stellar Blade and Nikke, it is currently in development as a top-tier quality game for the industry, building on ShiftUp's proven track record and expertise in IP creation demonstrated through previous projects. Now, I know that doesn't really say everything about what we are going to see in the game, but from what we understand, and from the description that we've got from a couple of other interviews that have been out, Project Spirits seems to be in the same vein as like other open world gacha games, right? So that's what this is going to be. It's based on Eastern fantasy, so we're going to be getting a lot of like Asian inspiration for like buildings and more than likely like set pieces, like different backgrounds. You know, I'm gonna say more than likely like clothing and everything, as we can tell from these characters. Just gonna have a lot of Eastern influence, which I don't mind. I actually kind of like that a lot for a couple of different games, so I'm really intrigued by what they're gonna do with this one, right? And again, I want to see the gameplay. I want to see character designs. I want to hear the music. I want to learn a little bit more about the story, the world. I want to see what direction they're going to go with Project Spirits. So again, very much looking forward to learning a little more about it, and definitely wanting to see something out of the Game Awards, okay? Hopefully, we'll keep our fingers crossed on that we do get to see Project Spirits for the Game Awards. I don't know. I think it feels very promising. Like, I feel, especially now with everything that's been shown off for its competition with Arknight's Enfield and, you know, Mongil Stardive, DNF Arad. There's a billion other open world gacha games that are kind of doing like similar things, but like also showing their capabilities, their willingness to diversify and change up the formula a little bit in each their own way. There's a lot of very promising titles on the horizon, and of course, you know, we got was the other one called Varsa Persa or something like that there from Hoyoverse that's going to be coming out as well. That looks really good and very interesting. There was also obviously, I know it's not a gacha game, but the other one, dude, I did a reaction for it, and I don't know why I'm blanking on the name of it, but it was originally Project Mugen. Ananta, that's what it's called. It's called Ananta. We've got that on the horizon as well, which looks great. So again, all of these different games with a similar style to them, it feels like Project Spirits is really going to have to like step up its game, right? It's going to have to really do something unique in order to compete in that field, is what I'll say. So again, what we're looking at in terms of gameplay, yet to be seen. What we're looking at in terms of animations, yet to be seen. Give us a little tidbit, give us a tease, show us something at the Game Awards is all I'm saying. because I, for one, want to see a little more out of Shift Up. And Project Spirits is that next title, right? There's nothing else here listed on the page from what we can tell. Project Spirits, and then its previous titles, and they're not wrong, right? They're not wrong. These are IPs that were created with expertise, and it's been proven through their previous games, right? Like, this is one of the first games that I think the first game that ever came out on mobile, and then of course Nikke, again, speaks for itself. And the Stellar Blade, I'm telling you, there's a cult following for it, and there is a cult following for a reason. This game is top tier, all right? So again, you got all those quality titles. Project Spirits is going to be something else. I can already tell. I've got my fingers crossed, but I know it in my heart and in my soul, this is going to be the next big thing. Following Arknight's Enfield, because Arknight's Enfield is going to be the actual next big thing, and then this game is slated to release, I believe, in 2027, from what we understand. So probably still a little bit early out to see anything from it. But we're at the end of 2025. 2026 is now the time for this game to ramp up hype, right? We want to see just what it's going to have to offer, and I feel like we should get a tease on the 11th when the Game Awards airs, right? So that's just my own 2 cents on that. I don't know. That's my thoughts. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe we'll see something about it. I don't know. There are other games, like I said, that I'm wanting to see as well, but that's kind of where my head's at in terms of, you know, what I want to see for gachas. I want to see a new trailer for Genshin, a new trailer for Star Rail, a new trailer for a Rod would be great. I would love to see a follow-up, because all we got was like that brief tease, and that looked great. I want to see Project Spirits. I want to see more stuff for Zenless. I want to see Arknight's Enfield get a new trailer, or at least like a, you know, it would be really cool if they did a release date trailer where we finally got a confirmation of the official release date. That'd be awesome. I want to see Ananta again. I want to see again more of Mongil Stardive, and dude, just so many other cross-platform games. I want to see those. In terms of like standalone AAA titles, I kind of talked about this in the last stream as well. I want to see the third part, the final chapter of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I would love to see the rumored Final Fantasy IX remake as well. That'd be cool. I would love to see an announcement trailer for Final Fantasy 17, because 17 has been something that more than likely should be started, right? It should be. Final Fantasy 16 came out a couple years ago now, and I feel like we definitely could see 17 being announced at some way, shape, or form. I don't know if we'll ever see another Final Fantasy MMORPG, but that would pique my interest. I think it would be really cool if they did like a mobile iteration of 11. And I know that was rumored for a while, and it was supposed to be like under development by Nexon, but then something fell through, and then they decided to cancel the project. But I would still like to see something kind of going back to like Vanadil. Like, I want to see Vanadil being a focus again, right? I know we got a little bit of that with, or Evilise with Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered. I'm going to shut up Raven here in the background for a second because she's kind of bumbling over me. But at the same time, I really just want to see different games that I know and love return. I want to see new games. I would really love to see Breath of Fire, obviously. Like, that's my dream game, to get some sort of like follow-up or revival of that, or even a collection available somewheres digitally. I know we got Breath of Fire 4 that got re-released on GOG, I believe. That was really cool to see. That means it's getting some sort of recognition. That's all I'm saying. Breath of Fire, one of my main titles that I grew up with. Dude, what else would I love to see? Like, dream titles. A Chrono Trigger follow-up would be cool. I know that's not gonna happen. That is definitely not gonna happen. Right? I feel like it's too soon for a new Mana game, because we got Visions of Mana or Visions of Mana, however you want to pronounce it. We got that not long ago. Well, pretty much everything's kind of gone like the whole remake, remaster, revival route. So I feel like Breath of Fire is really the only one that's kind of missing there, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else I would like to see in terms of like RPGs per se. Mainly just like a Square Enix fanboy. So we kind of got everything else really, right? Like we got Lunar remastered, which I still have yet to play through over on PS5. But I picked that up as well. That was on sale for Black Friday, and I ended up getting that. There's a lot of old titles, man, that I picked up, like Octopath Traveler 0. I'd like to see a little bit more about that, because that's interesting. I would love to see Bravely Second get a remaster, because we got Bravely Default Remaster on Nintendo Switch 2. I would like to see Bravely Second get a remaster. I know not a lot of people liked it, and it didn't really feel like a direct follow-up to Bravely Default, but Bravely Second was actually one of my favorite ones out of the entire Bravely series. So I would like to see that. That'd be cool. Maybe like a Lufia collection. That'd be interesting. Or some sort of like digital re-release of Lufia. Not the one that Square Enix did not long ago, because that one was weird. I think it was like on DS or 3DS or something. That one was weird. But like the OG Lufia games were fantastic. I would like to see that get a revisit, or, you know, Mother 3. Potentially, probably never, but potentially that'd be cool. Xenosaga and possibly Xenogears. That would be nice to get some recognition. But again, I know I'm going in on a limb thinking about, like, you know, dream revivals or dream projects that I would love to see remasters for, or whatever else. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff, like big AAA stuff, that I would love to see as well. But we'll have to wait and see. That's going to be a story for next week. Game Awards, December 11th. December 11th. We're in December now, Gavin. December 11th is where we're going to end up watching that. I'll probably do a live stream for it. We'll see. Again, still gauging feedback in terms of if you guys want to see that or not. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I just want to do a short stream. I've got to go and tend to fatherly duties. So again, this is it for this one. It was just Nikkei Dailies and me rambling about stuff, right? And showing my disdain for Sony's lack of quality assurance. Get on that and fix it, please. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this one. I'll see you guys all tomorrow for the what was it, Winter's Carol story event 1 playthrough. Look forward to it, and I'll see you guys in the comments. Anyways, if you watch this, and if you're still watching this after the fact, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace.
The scent